Let me tell you something, kids. There was a time when stories had teeth. I'm not talking about special effects. I'm not talking about how many zeros are in the budget. I'm talking about backbone. I'm talking about writers who could look power in the eye and say, explain yourself, or in the very least, go fuck yourself. Go back 2,500 years to Aristophanes, old Attic comedy. The man roasted politicians over an open flame while the democracy of Athens was wobbling on its last legs. He was funny, dangerous funny. And then Athens fell, and what happened? The comedy softened, the bite dulled. The system stopped getting mocked and started getting massaged. And not like my old spot on the East 60s or on 57th Street between 8th Avenue and Broadway, where me, before I was married, would go for a cup of green tea, a massage, and a jerk. Not that type of massage. Watching this Hollywood trash today is the kind of massage where at every turn, somebody's trying to stick a thumb up my ass. Today we've got billion-dollar franchises that look like fireworks and feel like drywall. Hollywood keeps shoveling spectacle in our faces and calling it depth. It's noise. It's lectures. It's committee-approved emotion. It's hypocrisy. Free Palestine and kill the Jews, but don't you ever say America is a pretty nice place to live for a society with two genders, because sex is gender, kids. Quentin Tarantino characterized these hippies in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood exactly how they are and how they should be treated. Like goddamn dumpster divers, in heart, in mind, in their fucking souls. Garbage. Here's the tragedy. If this keeps up long enough, a whole generation won't even know stories used to be better. You know it's bad when you go back and rewatch Rocky V or Waterworld and think, you know what? At least they swung for the fences. They had flaws, sure, but they had sincerity. They had grit. They weren't preachy. They didn't resent their audiences for its spot-on criticism, which basically amounts to nowadays as you're a hack and you shouldn't be near a fucking pen or keyboard. Star Trek Enterprise? Imperfect. But compared to some of the newer dumpster fires like Star Trek Discovery and Starfleet Academy, watching Enterprise is mother's titty juice to me, full of nutrients. Why? Because it respected the universe. It respected the fans. It told a story first. Probably why all the most popular shows on Netflix right now are old shows. Now, too much of what we get feels like it was written by a focus group with a group therapy minor. Conflict gets replaced with messaging, and messaging, my friends, is not drama. Characters don't act, they announce, they don't struggle, they posture. They're cardboard cutouts misused to drive the plot forward. A plot with an umbilical cord linked to the puckered asshole of easily offended communists, which is the only way to illustrate these people. Everything offends them, yet they preach tolerance. They hate more groups than I can count on both hands, but preach empathy. They hate America, but protest for terrorists overseas. They cheer the assassination of Charlie Kirk and cry over illegal immigrants being sent back home, but ignore American victims of migrant crime and shove Renee Good down our throats. They cut out the guns on new school James Bond posters because masculinity is apparently the devil, but promote drag queens in the classroom and the genital mutilation of minors. You can represent people without lecturing them. You can explore ideas without reducing every conversation to a slogan. That's insincerity dressed up as virtue. And here's the thing nobody wants to say out loud. When strong, grounded people stay quiet because they're busy building businesses, raising families, and actually living their life and going to work, the vacuum gets filled not by masters, but by noise. Masculinity isn't the villain. Femininity isn't the villain. Weak writing is the villain. Cowardly storytelling is the villain. The refusal to challenge power, whichever side it's on, is the villain. And the only superhero story I want anymore, post-Marvel actually being entertaining and worth my money, is that of talent finally triumphing over these fucking sissy hacks. Great stories don't preach, they wrestle, they bleed, they make you uncomfortable and then make you think. They fucking entertain. If we don't demand that again, if we just keep clapping for whatever intellectual oatmeal gets shoveled onto the screen and page, then bland is all we'll ever get. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather watch a flawed, swinging for the fences disaster than any polished, soulless sermon. Now somebody write something with fucking guts. Oh wait, I already did. A graphic novel inspired in part by the Epstein files, a tale of revenge, an anti-hero who, in many ways, is just as bad as some of the villains. It took me 2 years to create because, life got in the way. It's a 213-page son of a bitch of a book that I'm so excited to bring to y'all. Anywho, thank you for listening to me. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I promise much more is to come. I have to protect my identity because honestly, this graphic novel goes there. And in some ways, I am cautious about how it will affect my life, literally. But I'm ready to rock and roll. This book is my destiny. Okay, first episode in the can. Stay tuned and God bless. Fight, fight, fight. I am Rex Wilson.